my relationship with him, he doesn't talk that much.
Well, that's what she
So,
thinks.
well, he talks, he's social, but I mean, he's a bit restricted when he's not your friend. So, hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Obadiah here, and as always, we are very excited to have you join us in another video. If this is your first time of joining us, you're very welcome. Again, my name is Obadiah and we are based in Canada. So we normally do home recorded songs and we sometimes share our life experiences. So if you're new here, please click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification so that you know whenever we upload new songs or any interesting content. As you can see here, I'm not alone today. I'm here with my Chocomilo. Anyway, so I'm here with my husband and he's Bennet. We did a video that introduced him to the channel. So if you want to know more about Bennet, go check it out, and he talks a little bit about his interest and other stuff. So I think it's best you check that so that you know him. So today we just want to talk about some of the experiences and lessons we've learned throughout our marriage life. So just a quick recap of our relationship. Bennet and I were friends. We were actually just friends for 2 years, and he wanted more than that, so he asked me out and I said yes after taking him through a lot of struggles. I can share that later, but eventually we became more than just friends. So we dated for 5 years, but out of the 5 we did 2 years of long distance relationship because he had to be in Canada for school. So I would say with a dating time we're like in close proximity for 3 years, not under the same roof, but we were both in Ghana, West Africa for that 3-year period, and we learned a lot and we shared a lot as friends and also as people who were dating. Anyway, so after that then we got married and we've been married for 7 years. So today we're just going to talk a little bit about experiences as a couple and some of the lessons that we've learned and what we think would be able to help let's say those who are yet to marry and even newly wedded couples, because honestly I wish I had more to go through even on YouTube or any other channels. We did have counselors, so I think that helped a lot, but we are just trying to, I mean, we are by no means telling everyone here that we know more. we are just sharing our experience, guys. So today we're not going to waste your time. We're just going to select 3 major things that we think has helped us as a couple, and so I think with the 3 main topics that we'll bring up, we'll just kind of elaborate a little bit on, so that at least will help other people out there. So Ben will just talk about it, then I'll chip in whenever. So Ben, go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, like she said, we've been together for we've been married for 7 years.
We've been together for 14 years.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but so 3 things that has kept us going. I mean, there is a whole lot, and obviously it's the grace of God that has kept us together, but there are some other things that we consciously worked on to keep us sane and
yes,
friends.
to keep us sane and friends.
Yeah, so the first one that I can think of is communication and transparency. Yeah, I'll group those 2 together. Communication has been key right from the dating stages. We dated for a long time, and I don't think a day went by without talking to you or texting with you. So and that was good, regardless of the situation, whether we had an argument or misunderstanding. We still communicated. Yeah, and we talk about everything, absolutely everything. When we got married, we decided on something. We said no withholds. What withholds is pretty much things that you keep from your spouse, and like you just keep it in yourself and don't let your spouse know about it. So what happens is with time it just kind of piles up in you and you just explode one day.
Yeah, so to add to this, the withholds that Bennet just talked about. So initially, Bennet was the kind of person, well, based on my relationship with him, he doesn't talk that much.
That's what she
So,
thinks.
well, he talks, he's social, but I mean, he's a bit restricted when he's not your friend. So I would say he's in between there. But I talk a bit more than him. So sometimes I realize that if something is bugging me, and sometimes I'm trying to give him cues to figure it out himself, and I realized that wasn't happening. So at some point I realized I had a lot of things that I needed to talk to him about, but because I wasn't being vocal about it or voicing it to him, it became something like a resentment, or I would say, like, we call it withhold, but it's like, well, why isn't he doing this? Why? But it's all in my head. So I realized that telling him actually made life easier for me, because then he knew exactly what I was thinking, and it kind of helped us to be able to communicate better. So we just decided that every Friday evening, throughout the week, every Friday evening, when the kids are in bed, we'll just, talk about some of the withholds. If he did something that I didn't really like, or if I did something that he thinks I could do better, then we just talk about it. And just to let you know, we did most of it out of love. So we didn't come from a place of anger or a place of resentment, or if like a place of attack, like I'm coming at you this week, you did this and that, and therefore I'm coming to kill you because this is the time that I have to say everything I have to say. No, but we always came out from a place of love, and we try not to raise our voices, and also we
Try not to.
We try not to, because I mean, sometimes, of course, in any relationship, you can't. Sometimes you just get riled up that out of that you can raise your voice. So we made a conscious effort that, okay, during the time of voicing withholds, we did it at a calm setting, and that, I think, has really helped us with communication.
Yeah, and it's not set maybe like just only Friday night. Sometimes we just do it randomly, especially if I notice maybe she is quiet, unusually quiet.
Which is
I
not
just
very,
ask.
very often, because he won't notice.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
I think we kind of resorted to Friday evening because both of us were working, and during the week it gets really busy, having to drop our kids at daycare and working. Then you come home and somebody wants to talk about their withholds. No, that wasn't working out. So on Friday evenings, mostly, we know Saturday is like a free day for both of us, so we'll just kind of do that on Friday so that we can maybe talk longer. But I think with time, we just kind of picked and chose whenever it was convenient for us, so that
Anyway, back on track here, and the communication and transparency was not only
just talking.
Just talking, but it includes everything, like from finances, career plans, ministry goals. Includes everything. People ask, should they have a joint account versus individual account? I mean, that one is up to the couple.
Yeah.
You decide what works for you, but regardless of the case, there should be transparency. The moment we make room for assumptions in marriage, there is always trouble, because one spouse is thinking, well, this person or the other is spending too much money, and they also say, well, okay, then I'll also spend too much money. And what happens is both couples start spending on stuff, not letting the other know, and as a couple, you can't really save and do stuff together.
Yeah, and I think with the finance, so Bennett is very good with accounting stuff. It just comes to him naturally. So at the beginning, I wasn't comfortable, having to give all my details, because I love being very independent, and now I had to, allow my husband to go through my account and do all the corrections and additions and subtractions. But whatever it was, I just trusted him to be able to handle our finances, and I think so far I'm really amazed, because I mean, he has a whole Excel sheet that he kind of updates every month, at the end of every month, which has been very helpful. So we're able to track whatever we spend, whatever comes in, and invest and save, so it's been very helpful, and even save some for vacation. And because of that, I think it's made our life easier. So now we know where our money is going at the end of every month. I know some of these things might be a bit too much for some people, but by all means, do whatever works for you. But this is what has helped us. So being transparent is being through even our relationship with other people, especially the opposite sex, and all those things. We've tried to be as transparent as possible. So I think so far with communication and transparency, that's what I have to say. Do you have any?
No.
Okay. So the next one, what's the next one?
So the next one I'll say is teamwork. We are functioning as a team, especially here in Canada. We don't have too many family and friends around, so I don't know how people function without teamwork. Yeah.
So when we came to Canada, the usual kind of marriage where the husband gets home and sits in the couch and raises his legs and waits for his wife to prepare all the meals and serve him. Then she basically does everything. So it's good. We're doing that it wasn't like, I wasn't like the traditional kind of wife doing all that, but I was trying my best to do it. But at some point, as time went on, as the kids came, as we both started working, and life became very busy, and that was just not possible. Bennett was smart enough to chip in a lot, and I thank God that he wasn't the stuck-up person, the traditional husband who is like, okay, I'll just help when you ask. But he's been very supportive, and with having to balance work life, family life, and also even at home, like sometimes it's crazy. So I think that he helping has made life easier for both of us. so right now it's like we don't have a schedule for anyone, but of course I do the usual cooking, all right. But I remember with our second baby, he was basically the one cooking all the time. It was quite a challenging pregnancy for me, so he basically picked up the slack, and it was very helpful. So I think that is the kind of teamwork that we've built over the years, and I feel it makes life easier for both of us, and it makes us happy, because the more the load gets on one person, the more you become drained and tired, and then it becomes a resentment. So I think so far that's what has been helpful to us.
Teamwork is not only includes the house chores and kids, but everything, when she was in school, helping out, in everything. Just be supportive to your spouse. Let's go on to the third one.
Okay, so for the third one,
I would say accountability. We have been accountable to each other, and that's in everything as well. So what we usually do from time to time is just review what our life goals, annual goals are, and just help each other through the process and be accountable to each other. And further to even just both of us, we've had a counselor who have been in our lives since the time we're dating, and I think it's always good that way. We've not visited them for any crisis counseling, but every now and then we just bounce off ideas, and I think having that third party helps, because I know of couples where one spouse is really struggling with something, and he or she cannot talk to another person. Let's say she cannot talk to another person just because maybe I might get mad or I'm not comfortable sharing with that person. But if there is, in case there is something that is really a burden on one spouse, you can easily go to that third party who you both trust, just to sort things out.
Yeah, and just to add on to Bennett's what Bennett just said, I think when we talk about a third couple, we are not talking about a family member. We are talking about a neutral person, somebody who is well versed in counseling and understands marriage. So it's not just I think for the main thing that I'll bring out is, don't look for a family member.
Yeah,
Don't go and get
in a few cases, some family members have helped
some
out.
of
So
yeah.
it all depends on the situation.
Yeah.
The goal is you don't look for somebody who's going to choose sides.
Yes.
And usually with parents and families,
Yeah.
I mean, they most likely would choose sides. Yeah, so
your mom would choose me.
most likely, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's just trying to get a couple that can be very helpful, especially, I mean, we've had differences, and there's been times that Bennett thought, you know, maybe I did something that was beyond reproach, but when I did talk to our counselors and they came in, he did realize later that, oh, it wasn't really that bad, which was very helpful, because at that point I was so confused. I didn't know what to do at that time. But having that safe environment to talk to somebody else aside your spouse when an issue comes up, I think is very helpful. You know, when it comes to raising kids and doing other things, it can be very demanding. So if it's just your spouse too can be drained. So just imagine the two of you are really stressed and you don't want to talk to each other. Really, aside, if let's say you're Christian, so aside talking to God, sometimes you need a physical person to talk to, and I think it's best to just get someone that, you know, you can trust, a safe environment that you can just tell them anything and you know that it's not going to spread to other people, but they are going to give the, you know, unbiased advice that can help you as a couple. So I think that has been one of the major things that has been very helpful to us. Yeah. So in conclusion,
yeah, I think that's it for today.
Yeah, so that's it for today. We are cooking up more things, and with time, I think we will talk more about not really about our marriage, but we'll do some discussions about marriage whenever possible. So stay tuned, and thank you very much for spending time with us. And again, I would urge you to subscribe and turn on the notification so that anytime we upload, you'll be able to get that and watch us do our things. All right, so thank you very much, Bennett, for joining me here today. We'll do more songs with time. Stay tuned.